Right now, just about right now, I should be chilling my butt off down at the planting festival at Woodfordia. But of course, we're not. And there's a whole bunch of you out there, I know too. So instead, let's raise a bottle or a glass to the team at the Woodford Folk Festival and the Planting Festival for outstanding work. And I'd like to encourage those of you who are not already to become a citizen of Woodfordia so that we can show our ongoing support for the most astounding and outstanding festival, I think, in the world. I guess I'm biased though. I just had a little explosion from the tech room saying, Robin, you're not plugged in. So I don't know if you heard any of what I was saying about Woodford or not. Anyway, that's all right. My guest today is in London. Is it London, Adam?
It is London.
How far out of London are you?
Well, from the square mile, like the central business district, we're probably about, I think, 4.5 miles. I can't remember what that is in kilometres. I've been here long enough that I've assimilated and I use miles now.
4.5 miles out of the city?
Yeah, give or take.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
It's a good spot. It's close enough that we're, sort of in the thick of it, but far enough away that we've still got quite a lot of parkland and green spaces. So
yeah, which you call commons, don't you?
Yeah, commons.
Yeah, how nice. And you've been for your walk with your dog? It is. What time is it there now?
It has just gone 8:30.
Okay.
In the morning.
On Sunday.
On Sunday.
I'm so impressed. Thank you, Adam, for rising to the occasion.
I'm not going to lie, it was a struggle getting out of bed this early on a Sunday.
I bet. That's wonderful. Thank you. I'm honoured. Now, what's your first... Let's get straight into it. What's your first piece of random shit to share?
Right, so I've been furloughed from work for the last, month and a bit now. So I've been keeping myself busy by building a retro arcade cabinet.
Oh.
So it's almost finished. Yesterday was the decoration process, so I've got a sort of tile mosaic on the side.
Oh, that's so cool.
Another one, sorry for my camera work, another one on the top, and then another one on this side.
Oh, yes.
So yeah, that's what I've been sort of filling my days with for the last month and a bit, plus just other random DIY tasks around the house and that sort of thing. So yeah, that's my new random piece of shit in the house.
I'm loving that. So what's the device that's sitting in there?
So that is an old 5:4 ratio computer monitor that I found in a dumpster that I've pulled all the plastic casing off and I've mounted in there, and then it's run off a single board computer that's called a Raspberry Pi.
Oh, yes.
You can load up with emulators, so it runs all sorts of old video game systems going up to like sort of the late 90s, very early 2000s.
Oh, that's fantastic. I love that.
Just something that's going to sit in the corner of the living room under I've built another box that goes over it so that it's not always in full view. And it'll sit in there, and then in parties and such, then I can pull it out and we can play Mario Kart or, muck around.
To the wee hours of the morning.
Yes, and reminisce on our misspent youth and that sort.
Oh, you didn't misspend it, did you?
Some of it.
Oh, yeah. It's all that part of that rich pageant, isn't it?
Yeah, tapestry. It's a
Tapestries.
tapestry
That's it.
of
Or
youth.
Mario Karts or whatever it is.
Yeah.
All right. So my first piece of random shit is also from a similar era, and I found it at an op shop ages ago, and it came in this Nokia 3315 box, and it is a a Skippy trivia set.
Oh God. Okay. I think I see where this is going.
Yeah, you're really sharp, you know. So the idea is that you were to buy the Sanitarium health food breakfast cereal.
Of course.
Yeah, and then you get to cut them out. So whoever did this was incredibly diligent and bought just an absolute shitload of Sanitarium products because, there's just, this
I all their mates to buy them too, and then collect them and hand them on.
just mass mountains of this stuff. Okay, so I've got 3 questions. And
Okay.
if you're watching at home, which I sincerely hope you are, you can. There's always at least one viewer, and that's your mum, my sister Sue. Yeah, so she's already written in. She's saying, "Hi, Addie. If we can ever have parties again." So generally, Sue is the one that writes in. Okay, so the first question: what famous backyard invention is Lance? And these are Australian. What famous
Right.
backyard invention is Lance Hill famous for?
Oh, that's got to be the Hills hoist.
Winner, winner. Okay, second question is, who was named Bicentennial Australian of the Year?
Oh, bloody hell.
Oh, that's a tough one, isn't it? Okay, so
That was what, 1988?
yes,
Who would have been Australian of the Year in 1988?
I've got the answer here, so I know.
I've got no idea. I was bloody 7.
I know. All right, well, we'll leave the answer till later. And again, for the viewer at home and for you, Ad, is what I was trying to do when I found this collection is work out what year it came from. So we're playing the game, and I came across these 2 questions. That question about who was named the Bicentennial Australian of the Year, and of course that's 1988. And then this next question follows is, where is World Expo 88 to be held?
Okay, so it's pre-World Expo, so it's possibly early 1988, but that was held at what is now South Bank Parklands in Brisbane.
That's right.
I have a vague memory of actually going to the World Expo and there being what I thought at the time a very fun roller coaster, but with hindsight, I think it was actually a little bit sketchy.
That's right. Well, it's all fun at the time, isn't it? So, when was this set created? You don't have to come down to the month, just the year.
Yeah, I mean, well, if they've said where's the Expo to be held, so it's pre-Expo, but they've also asked who the Bicentennial Australian of the Year would be.
Yes,
So
was.
it must be 88. So
Yep.
it must have happened in 88, but
That's right.
before Expo.
Well done. Okay, yeah, you're a champion. And look, there's bonus questions at the end, but we'll move right along. What's your second piece of random shit?
So my second piece of random shit, if I can get my hands on it, there may be some holes in the details that I've embellished because this story goes back quite a few years, but it's my copy of Shantaram.
Yes.
Now, this isn't just any copy of Shantaram. So when I left Australia back in 2012 or 2011, I took this copy of Shantaram and I took off and spent a few months, I think 4 months in total, in Southeast Asia, where I ploughed through this and actually finished it. And where I finished it was in a backpackers in Laos. Now, as is sort of customary, there's a library at the backpackers where you can leave a book, take a book, whatever. So I threw it in the bookshelf in a backpackers in Laos. Now, if we fast forward a couple of years to when my very good friend Zane was coming over from Australia, he was staying at a backpackers in Prague where they had a similar bookshelf, and he saw a copy of Shantaram and he picked it up, and as he's leafing through it, he found a bookmark which was a scrap of paper that had my email address written on it. So he put two and two together and he grabbed the book and he brought it to London, and when he arrived he presented it to me. So this copy of Shantaram has been from Australia all around Southeast Asia to Laos, and then who knows where, but made its way to Prague to then find its way to my friend and then eventually back to me again. So after being separated, I decided I'll hang on to the copy this time around because I'm obviously meant to have it.
That's a fantastic story. So if anyone knows that those intervening years between Laos and Prague, please jump on and tell us about it, because that would just be a fascinating part to this story. That's a great story, Ad.
Cheers.
I love it. Okay, so I've actually got two other bits too. I was going to talk about this light, which is this big industrial, one of those, big ass light, it says, out of a factory or warehouse or whatever. So we've got that.
Why did I buy it?
But so Matt bought that for Lewis's 21st birthday because why not?
Who doesn't need a big ass light?
That's right. Yeah. So we've got that, but if you can't see it in camera 3, but in camera 3, I found we've got your backpack at the back here, which you could see. Can you see that?
I cannot.
You can't. All right.
Maybe
hang on.
Blocking.
I'll just move. There. Can you see it now?
I can see your backpack.
Yeah. Okay. And then I'm just moving. So for the viewer, I'm just moving the camera around so Adam can see. Can you see that?
Oh wow. Yeah, that goes back a ways.
It does. So that was in your backpack. My question is do you want it?
Yeah.
All right. So I'll just hang on to it for a little bit longer.
Well, yeah, I mean, when we can travel again, then I'll be back over in Australia. Well, hopefully the travel bans are all lifted next year because I'm planning on coming back for my 40th.
Oh, yeah, God, 40 next year. That's amazing. So this is from 94, 95.
Yeah.
And there was a bunch of other stuff with it too that is much less interesting. So there's that. And I don't know if you know about this too, but these will probably come to you in your inheritance from your mother. So this is the that's the the centenary of the landing, 1770. So that's your 50-cent piece. I'm just making this assumption, Sue, that Adam will get these. And this is her GNA Carnival B grade 1974 medallion too.
I remember that one, yeah.
Yeah. So, and there's other things as well, which I happen to have because your mother is a traveller.
Yes.
I know. Anyway, so they're my other bits.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't even know that folder of basketball cards was still kicking around anywhere. So
I didn't either until about 3 days ago when I was searching for something else and I went, oh shit, look at that. I'm going to have to bring this down and show it. All right. Now, the last two questions before we go. Which is the oldest state capital after Sydney?
I would say Melbourne.
Bong bong.
No. Ah, there you go.
Yeah, I'd like everyone to write in. I'm not going to tell you the answer. And then this is an easy one. Name the largest sand island in the world.
Oh, Fraser.
Yeah, okay, all right. So well done. You got everything. Oh, so there's the bicentennial Australian of the Year. So I want 2 questions written in. That one and the oldest state capital after Sydney. So in the comments, please, everyone. All right. Thanks, Ad.
Thank you.
It's been such a long time.
It's been ages. We should catch up.
Yeah, we will. All right.
Indeed.
All right. So hang on a tick. All right. So over here, actually, Andrew Redfern has got the answer to the state capital question. The answer is Hobart.
Ah, well, there you go.
Yeah,
That
and
wouldn't have been my 3rd or 4th guess.
yeah, and your mother says that you have her sharp mind.
Oh, very good. Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of think you take after your auntie. And then Andrew Redfern also wants to know, can your retro game thing play Donkey Kong?
It can indeed.
All right, there you go, Andrew. You'll be having a visit over to Adam at some point in the future. All right, okay, that's it. Thank you. I'll talk to you soon.
And that's been lovely talking to you.
Yeah, you too. Thanks for watching. Thanks for answering the questions. Did we get... Oh, we've still got that last one to go. Who was named Bicentennial Australian of the Year? I don't think anyone's answered that. So write in. And in the meantime, I'm getting ready for dinner. This week.
I've got a box to build today for Jackie. It's like an exercise box that's got 3 different heights that you can step or jump up onto.
Oh yeah, that's good.
And then, I don't know, I think there's a few bits of DIY. I've got a running list of things to do.
So are you
I'm not
still
sure.
you're still employed and you're just sidelined for a while? Is that the case?
Yeah, so the UK government's got a scheme going where if a business